Hey, let's talk about the topic of the race card. Here's what people who have never experienced racism fail to realize. A person who has received discrimination because of their race, because of their gender, because of their sexual identity, and because of their handicapped and numerous other possibilities, has a history of very traumatic experiences that you have not had and can't relate to. That's not to say you don't have your own history of traumatic experiences and things that they cannot relate to. You could be a white male, but you had cancer twice. Okay, that's very unfortunate. And I have not had cancer twice. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm talking about this idea of discounting someone's expression of something that they're very scarred with mentally and emotionally and can't let go of, which the white person will say, hey, you're playing the race card. Well, the fact that I grew up in Vancouver and for 10 years as a child was daily for a decade called a dumb Hindu, a stupid Paki, or a dumb Punjab is probably not something that I will ever erase from my memory until maybe I'm old and I have Alzheimer's and can't remember very much about my life. So that's a part of my identity. Trust me, I've never whimsically to acquire sympathy or some sort of benefit to me individually, specifically, by playing some so-called race card. If I have ever complained about something about my race, it's because I have a deep-rooted personal experience that's traumatic from my childhood that is in my head and will be as long as I'm alive, most likely, that makes me feel judged and unaccepted and so on and so forth by another group. So before you're so quick to jump at someone and say, motherfucker, you're just playing the race card. I'm not saying there's no person that doesn't bring that up as an opportunity to vent or complain or seek sympathy or get an entitlement to something. I'm just saying it's a much fewer amount of the population. It's to a much lesser degree that happens than you think that it happens. It may be a possibility that that person has something that they are projecting on you, and therefore there is a miscommunication of what's happening there in that discussion, in that transaction. But the fact of the matter is, they do have something that is a legitimate complaint and grievance. And I'm not saying it's applicable in that case or not applicable. Right? But it doesn't mean necessarily, in fact, what I'm saying is that the assumption should be that it occurs less frequently than you think, that they're playing the race card, and that in fact it's actually a legitimate issue and complaint that they have that should be considered rather than being dismissive about it.